Hello, welcome, Tricia from OAMM, Once a Month Meals. We like to refer to ourselves as OAMM because we like to bring the OAMM, the Zen, to the kitchen. Kind of rhymes. Not really well. I need to work on that. At any rate, if you've been following along over the last few nights, you will have seen that I have been cooking a once a month meals, an OAMM meal plan that I custom created for myself. For Once a Month Meals, we specialize in helping you do meal prep for your freezer. So you make meals ahead when you have time for the moments that you don't. And what I love about Once a Month Meals, other than the fact that I created it, was that I use it too. I use it in my life, and I started Once a Month Meals as a way of providing meals to my family and spending time with my family on the daily. And now my kids are grown and I'm a single person, and so now I use it to really fuel my own life and to make meals for myself and to make sure that my body is nourished and that I have the time for the things that I want. So I do single serving freezer meals. We're gonna talk, it's not really zoomed in, it's kind of whited out right here. See if I can change the lighting a little bit so that you can see these containers. But we're going to be talking about, the meal I made tonight, I'm going to be portioning in these portion control containers. And I don't know, again, I know I'm not working on the lighting. This container has a 2-cup portion and 2 1-cup portions. I love these containers for my freezer. So tonight's meal that I've made is that, just to kind of catch you up, a brief synopsis of what brings us here tonight. Like I said, I made a meal plan. It has 5 entrees and a side dish and a dessert on it. It's a little ambitious for me, but I like to make myself single serving meals, like I said, because my kids are not with me half the time, and when they are with me, we tend to not like to eat the same things. And this allows me to eat what I want, when I want, intuitive eating, and not worry about what I'm making for them or when they're eating. And so I tend to choose 5 entrees, and I make 6 to 8 servings of those entrees, which means that I have 30 to 40 of these single serving meals. So hungry man, hungry woman meals in my freezer. And I like to create variety. I don't like to eat the same thing. So when I've made 5 entrees on any given day, I have 5 things to choose from. I did a cooking day probably 2 months back, a month and a half back, and I still have a few meals left over from that. So I waited till my freezer got down small enough that I could fit more freezer meals in, but not that I had used up all those meals, because now I can rotate some of those meals in with these meals. So a couple nights ago, I printed my once a month meal stuff. You can do it on your phone or your app. I just like paper still. And so I went shopping with my shopping list. It tells me everything that I need to buy at the grocery store in the quantities and the portions I need to buy them in. So it's not going to tell me cups of barbecue sauce. It's going to tell me ounces of barbecue sauce, because we don't want you to have to spend time looking at containers in the grocery store about barbecue sauce. It also tells you how many onions, not diced. Then when you get home later that night on YouTube, you can actually go back and see those videos if you'd like. I'll try to link them in the video here when it's uploaded. There's a prep sheet, and the prep sheet shows you exactly what you need to do to be your own sous chef, to be your own prep chef. So what do you need to cook? What do you need to chop? How many of those things do you need to chop, and how much should you have, and which recipe is it associated with, so that you don't accidentally put all of the carrots into one recipe when it's supposed to go into 3. So Once a Month Meals does all of that for you, including the scaling of those recipes to the number of servings that you've done. So I believe a few nights ago, I demonstrated the process of being my own sous chef and did the prep with you. And then last night, I did 2 of the recipes. I'm losing track of the days. I did 3 of the recipes. I did 2 of the entrees and 1 of the desserts. The dessert is actually right here. We're gonna talk about that here in a minute. and portioned those up. Again, I'll cue this up on YouTube so that you can see that video if you're interested in that. And then tonight is Friday night, and I have had a long and busy and productive week. So I decided to only do one of the 3 remaining recipes and to portion that up, both because it's going to be my dinner tonight, and then I'm gonna freeze the rest. So I was supposed to get at least 6 portions out of this. I can tell you by looking at it, I'm gonna get 8. And so I'm gonna eat 1 tonight, and then I'll have 7 other portions here. So I needed to have something for dinner, so I was gonna make something anyway. So I decided to come on do that. And then this felt like perfect thing for the dessert, perfect thing for portion control. And then tomorrow, probably tomorrow, I will be doing the remaining recipes and getting all of those done in the freezer. So tonight is low key. If you are joining us and want to talk about what you are doing this Friday night, let us know. If you're just joining on this video after the fact, welcome, and I hope you some things to get out of this. So this is a pasta bake. So it's sort of like a vodka sauce where it's red sauce and Alfredo sauce mixed together, cheeses. It called for green peppers. I like green peppers, but I didn't really want them in this recipe this time. So I left those out. And so and then last night I made, these are apple pie oatmeal bars. Don't they look like apple pie oatmeal bars? No, Tricia, they don't look like apple pie oatmeal bars. They look like blueberry bars. Oh, that's because that's what I did. Instead of cutting and dicing apples and sauteing them up, I just bought a bag of, it was frozen cherries, blueberries, and black raspberries, and that saved me the chopping. I just threw that in, warmed them up, and I made berry bars. And so last night, so this is another thing, I wanted to portion them in these containers as well as individually. Like, I like a sweet at the end of my meal, and this is, but not a full-on dessert. And so this is going to satisfy that. Now, some of these I'm just gonna individually put in a container for grabbing, and some of these I'm going to include in these meals. It was like all falling apart last night. You know, it was all gooey because of the way I did it. So what I did last night is I just froze them. I just froze them enough that they would be solid for me to cut, and then they become one of the portions in here. All right, let's see. This is not a sponsored thing, but this Dream Farm spatula is the bee's knees. Let me just tell you. It is amazing. Dream Farm. Look them up. Their products are incredible. They're so versatile. They have so many multiple functions. This one is from them too. So I'm portioning this to be 8 portions. I told you I'm eating 1 tonight. The rest of them are going to go into these great containers that I just got on Amazon. And what I love about this is just the portion control. Oops! My pasta got on my berries. Oh, I just heard the berries and cream from TikTok. Did you all just hear that? Just heard berries and cream. Oh goodness. Paya, I blame you for that. All right. Once I do that, then I add frozen vegetables, but I'm just gonna keep doing this and then I'll show you. Some of these portions are bigger than others. It looks like. Oh, cheesy goodness. Cheesy goodness. A lot of people ask us about dairy and meals. Can you really freeze dairy? Stouffer's does it. If Stouffer's can do it, you can do it, folks. You can do it. Don't be scared. We have been doing this for 13 years. OAMM has existed for 13 years. We have much more freezer cooking experience beyond even those 13 years. And I can tell you, it is doable. And we write the recipes and test the recipes to make sure they're doable. They are tested by real cooks, real families, real people just like you. They are not sent to a test kitchen They are not tested by a chef. They are tested by real people who cook meals on the daily to make sure that they're simple and easy, as well as taste and versatility. We don't want them to come out of your freezer being gross or mealy, and so we want to test for that as well. Oh my gosh, this makes such big portions. All right, such big portions. One of the other reasons I love these single serving meals is that I am less likely to overeat, because I'm not going to warm up a whole nother meal if I'm still a little bit hungry, right? Like, and this is the proper portion. If you are, you know, trying to watch things or just have an awareness, you know, like you don't have to be counting calories or anything, just to have an awareness around what you're eating and how much you're eating. I love once a month meals in these single serving containers for that alone. I'm not going to fill this last one because that's my dinner. This one is my dinner tonight. So, you know what? It's just me. I might eat it out of the pan. Who's going to stop me? So there's that. Now, I told you I like to add, these are going to have a special, I don't think all of them should have desserts because, I don't know. Because I'm making some of these type of single serving meals tomorrow. So I'm going to have 4 of them. And I like to have some one-offs just by themselves. So I will save some of these for tomorrow's single serving meals that I'm going to make. And because like I like to have variety, so I don't like to have the same dessert, and I'm actually considering making a different type of dessert too to have in the freezer. So there's that, and then this is the other easy peasy thing that I do. Get any of the frozen vegetables from your grocer's freezer. Little known fact, most vegetables in the freezer section, excuse me, they're picked at ripe. They're the best possible ripeness in flash frozen at that point. In most cases, freezer vegetables are actually better than the fresh, unless you've grown it in your garden or you're getting it from a farmer's market. The produce in your grocery section, I promise you, this is actually fresher than those. So, again, I like variety. So I don't always like carrots with my pasta. I don't always like peas with my pasta. So I get a variety of vegetables and I portion them out in these containers, and they cook up. So these meals will take about 3 to 5 minutes to cook in the microwave, and during that time these frozen vegetables cook up just fine as well. I know from doing this that the frozen vegetables cook down quite a bit, and I want to have good control. A lot of times when I don't put desserts in here, I'll put both, like 2 sides of vegetables, which is probably what I'll do over there, so that I have 2 cups of vegetables to my 2 cups of pasta dairy. Fill that puppy up. Should I do that right? I don't want to do this. You know what? I'm gonna put peas and carrots with that one. That seems fun. Don't you dare get up here, cat. I have a cat. Don't you do it. Don't do it. So I have some more peas. just gonna give those desserts. Now I might not leave this dessert in there for 5 minutes, but at any rate, this is the result that I have. Carrots, berry bars, pasta bake. It's gonna get one of these great lids and go in my freezer. And now I have 7 ready to eat meals for a day when I am too tired to cook or am just intuitively feeling like I want some pasta in my life. Here it is. So that's it for tonight. The next video, the next time I cook, I will be doing an oven country steak, special potatoes, with special potatoes as the side, and there's something else. Maybe crack chicken. But I have to make sure that there's enough room in my freezer for all of this. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining me tonight, everyone.